roll call, please. Ms. Viviano?
Fusco.
Aye.
Kamer. Connor.
Aye.
Baylor.
Aye.
Mosley.
Aye.
All committee members are present except for Councilman Kamer.
Thanks. I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thanks. The ayes have it. In reference to the regular list of legislation, we have item number 1, which we had some discussion on last week. We asked for comments and questions. I believe they've all been answered, from what I understand. I don't know if there's any additional questions or comments from the committee at this time, or any council members. If not, I would propose that we place it on the consent agenda to give council an additional opportunity to review. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Motion for consent.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. The ayes have it. With that, short of any questions or concerns, we'll take time on the balance of the agenda, and we will now move into the new list of legislation. Okay. So I believe the first item is item number 8, which is a substitute, which has been pulled from the consent agenda. Ms. Viviano, could you please read that in?
Item number 8 is a substitute offered as amendment. Ordinance approving the addition of property located in Copley Township, Summit County parcel number 1508672 to the Copley Akron Joint Economic Development District, authorizing the mayor or his designee to amend the Copley Akron JED agreement to include Summit County parcel number 1508672 and declaring an emergency.
Very good. Mr. Mester?
Yeah, David Messner, Development Manager. Apologies on that. We just have a substitute as there was a typo in the parcel number we needed to correct. So it is same thing as last week when we discussed, but just over 10 acres being added to the JED.
It's the parcel, just a typo on the parcel number?
Yeah, the parcel number was incorrect.
Right. Same explanation, nothing's different, just.
No.
Is consent agenda okay still?
Yes, consent agenda is still okay.
Good, good. Is there any questions or comments from anyone at this time? I'm not hearing any. Could I have a motion for consent agenda on this item?
Motion for consent. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. The ayes have it. Consent agenda it will be. Item number 9.
Item number 9 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to install continuous curbless parking at 274 Park Street and declaring an emergency.
This is a conditional use, I understand. A public hearing is scheduled. All those in favor of referring signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Very good. We'll refer to that item. Item number 10.
Item number 10 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish a dog daycare at 1831 Wiltshire Road and declaring an emergency.
This too is up for public hearing. All those in favor of the public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Against? Very good. The ayes have it. 11.
Item number 11 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish a tree service business at 2514 East Avenue and declaring an emergency.
Very good. This too is up for public hearing. All those to be scheduled. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. The ayes have it. 12.
Item number 12 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish an apartment use at 133 Merriman Road and declaring an emergency.
This too is up for a public hearing. All those in favor of referring signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Very good. Against? Okay, good. 13.
Item number 13 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to construct a solid fence and carport at 2015 13th Street Southwest and declaring an emergency.
This too is up for a public hearing. All those in favor of referring signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Very good. 14.
Item number 14 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to construct an attached garage addition at 2232 Goodyear Boulevard and declaring an emergency.
This too is up for public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? The ayes have it. Number 15.
Item number 15 is an ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish a 4-unit apartment at 642 East Wilbeth Road and declaring an emergency.
This too is up for a public hearing. All those in favor of referring this item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. Item 16.
Item 16 is an ordinance changing the name of Portage Trail Extension West to West Portage Trail and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Mr. Antonucci is here for this.
Actually, this will also need a public hearing, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Antonucci. All those in favor of referring for a public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. We'll refer that item as well. 17.
Item number 17 is an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a vacation plat located on Furnace Street and North Canal Street, west of North Howard Street, authorizing the sale of city-owned property existing as Summit County parcel number 6734751 to 132-133 North Howard Street LLC and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Beckert?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Brad Beckert from OID. This is to help the business Gear Star, which is off of Howard Street. He's a high-performance parts manufacturer. His payroll has doubled in the last 3 years, every year. And in 2025, his payroll will triple, and he's starting to run out of space. By the vacation of this part of Furnace Street, he'll be able to extend his building out. And with the parcel in the back, he'll be able to provide parking to his additional employees. He's also donating a parcel on Howard Street, which will be used for access in the future to Canal Street, which runs up above.
Okay. Looking at the map here, in
This portion of Furnace Street runs west from Howard Street until it turns into Canal Street. It's a little paper street right now. It's not used.
Okay, I didn't go far enough. I'm really confused on what I'm looking at here. I believe I'm looking at the wrong thing. 17.
If you see where Gear Star is, it runs right to the south of Gear Star.
I'm looking at 17, right, clerk?
Yes, that's correct.
I don't think this is right. So it's a vacation and a sale? Yes. Okay, all in one piece of legislation? Yes. Okay. Okay. What's the time frame on this?
We would like consent.
Okay. So
He would
walk
like-
us through this now. So there's, I see here, we have a, something on Evans Avenue in Hollybaugh? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at here. And that's the, there's a proposed park and a proposed sale of land, 2 acres, correct?
Oh. You're looking at the Planning Commission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that has the actual maps on it. So this was what I was looking at right here. It says 2 acre sale and then proposed park.
It's page 16.
Yeah, usually it's only one of the. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let me see. Furnace Street, so, oh, that's the vacation. I see there. I see. Right. Yeah, it's a little further back on your iPads, everyone. But it's, and then the proposed sale of land is a little tiny parcel. It's a tiny parcel. Okay, now we get a good.
He owns the remainder of the property which abuts Furnace.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So when they vacate the street, it would automatically go to Gearstar.
Okay, I got you. And that, it sounds like they're growing quite nicely, as you'd mentioned.
Yes, he's acquiring quite a few companies, as well as his manufacturing is, he can't put anything else in his building right now. It's stacked.
Okay. Makes sense. And consent agenda is okay for you?
Yes, please.
Access to Canal Street and city land. Okay. Questions or comments from anyone? Now that we're kind of clear on this. Clearer, I should say. If there isn't, the request was for a consent agenda. Is there a motion for consent agenda to give everyone an opportunity to kind of look this over? And if there's any questions, please let us know.
Motion for consent?
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 There, thank you. The against? Very good. The ayes have it. 18 now.
18 is a resolution establishing the honorary designation of a section of Oren Avenue between Madison Avenue and Grace Avenue as Providence Way and declaring an emergency.
Okay.
Oh, he is, okay. I hadn't seen Mr. Neal on. My understanding was that this was his resolution.
Okay, Mr. Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry for the delay. The reason for this resolution, the Congregation of Providence is asking that the small section of Oren that sits between Grace Avenue and Madison, there aren't any homes on that piece of the property. They own the property on both sides. They're asking if that can have an honorary designation as Providence Way. Providence Baptist Church has been an anchor in that community for, oh my Lord, I don't know how many years, well over 50 years. And they've invested just over the past few years, just recently they've invested $250,000 putting in a new parking lot that has an outdoor basketball court where they do programming for youth in the community. They have a community garden right across from there. And a few years back, they put in a playground for young people in that area. Because if you're familiar with Ward 4, between Copley and Delia, going from the night house up there by Porter's Path all the way down to Hawkins, the only playgrounds in that whole area are the ones provided by Providence and Emmanuel Christian Academy. And Emmanuel's is not public. Because of the closing of Rankin School by the Akron Public School System, there aren't any outdoor recreation areas in that area. But they've made the investment for the basketball court, they made the investment for the playground, and I think it is